What's good? What's happening? What's cracking, everybody? It's your boy Kiji, and I am back with another video. Today, an interesting topic, something that's been on my mind for the past couple of days. Actually, I like to sometimes put out videos that if something's been ringing in my head over and over again, I want to put it out because there's a reason that I'm thinking about it so much. Okay, we are in the middle of what seems like a late E3 season almost. Developers left and right decided September was the time to start coming out with all their new games for next year or the end of this year. Put it, full on front for everybody to see. Everybody's excited. We got God of War, got a new trailer for that. We got Tekken 8, got a new trailer for that. We got a crap ton of news for Street Fighter 6. And so on. We had the Nintendo Direct. So we got Pikmin 4 coming out, whatever in the future. You got Tears of the Kingdom, the new Breath of the Wild. Coming out in May. Every dev is putting something out there. But let's go back to the fighting games devs. Those guys, the biggest games, Tekken, the biggest fighting games, Tekken and Street Fighter, they're putting their best foot forward. Looks great. Like, Tekken didn't reveal too much. That trailer looked amazing though. It looks beautiful. Magnifique. Street Fighter, everything I've seen from them looks great. Awesome. However, I was like, man, I feel like there's something missing. And then I also realized, where is Netherrealm at? What are y'all cooking? Where's Netherrealm been at? Okay? And I have been like racking my brain trying to figure out, what are they working on? I made a video like this back in 2021, December of 2021. What game is Netherrealm making before the Game Awards? Because I was expecting to see them there. However, they were not there. Ed Boon, the other day, put up a poll. Which Netherrealm game would you want to be made? I'm paraphrasing right now because I'm not looking at the tweet. But it was along the lines of that. And the options were a Marvel game, Mortal Kombat 12, Injustice 3, and a Marvel vs. DC game. Now, there are a myriad of reasons why whatever game they're working on could have been like held back. There's a lot of stuff going on with WB and Discovery, okay? That has affected all of their properties a little bit. Like every single one. There's people buying stuff here, selling stuff here, things being merged. There's a whole lot of stuff going on with WB Discovery. Netherrealm is owned by WB, by Warner Brothers. That's why they can make Injustice without any qualms, without any issues. That's why they can, Scorpion is a Warner Brother character. Like that's why. I believe that somewhere in there, WB Discovery has altered the trajectory of whatever Netherrealm was making. However, I don't know what they were making in the first place. So here in this video, I want to see if I can accurately predict what game Ed Boon and all the other developers at Netherrealm are working on. So firstly, back in 2019, Ed Boon had an interview with Game Informer, okay? The interviewer asked him, I can't remember the interviewer's name, but the interviewer asked him, have you ever talked about Marvel, about making a fighting game? And it's better if I show you.
Combat 3.
Have you ever had one conversation with Marvel about making a fighting game?
Yes.
What? When?
I did, but I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Are you excited about that idea?
Oh God, yes. We would love to make like a Marvel fighting game or Marvel versus DC. I think would be the coolest.
I feel like it's a race between you and TT Games for getting that Marvel versus DC. And I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Will Mortal Kombat 11 have crossplay?
All right. So basically, this is you can watch this video too. This is still up. It's 166 rapid fire questions with Mortal Kombat 11's Ed Boon. That was the first mention of Netherrealm possibly talking to Marvel and working out making a Marvel game or a Marvel versus DC game. From there, like in 2019, I ended up making a video, with that information, making like a mock-up roster, whatever. That was just for fun. There was nothing, I didn't believe it was going to actually happen. It was just him talking about it happening. However, recently, This was September 9th when he posted this. This is the post I was talking about. What do you want to see from Netherrealm Studios next? Injustice 3, a Marvel game, Marvel vs. DC, the next Mortal Kombat. Marvel vs. DC, of course, won out because that's just like, that's a pipe dream. That's like Sora and Smash. That's like I don't know. That's like Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. That's like Street Fighter versus Tekken. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things that people have been clamoring for. Comic book fans, casual comic book fans, casual movie fans have been clamoring for years to see the characters of Marvel and DC alive in a medium that's not just the comic books. Because that's the only place they've met before. They haven't collided in anything besides comic books. Now, there are a plethora of crossover comics that are just like single character, like Superman and Spider-Man, or Batman and Hulk. There's only a few that have been company-wide, where it's all the characters. I believe it's only like 2 that, you know, has just the Avengers versus the Justice League, or just Marvel versus DC. And this is not all. This is not all the information that he has kind of alluded to. However, if I go even back to on his Twitter, now this is not him directly saying this, but if I go to, I believe this post right here. So this guy, Victor Lucas, which is a I believe he says he makes TV about games and stuff. I don't know what that entails. However, Ed Boon and him are friends on Twitter. Victor Lucas says, who wins in a fight? So this is to sell it for my kid, and maybe his research for Ed Boon, winky face. The answer's here. Batman versus Hulk. Now, I know if whoever's watching this video is saying, Ed Boon, you are not supposed to listen to anything he says. I know this rule. I do know this rule. I know. I get it. I got it. I got it. However, because he just be trolling. He trolls. Like, Ed Boon is the epitome of, I just be saying shit for real. That is just, I feel like he has that tattooed on him somewhere. He just says shit sometimes. He just posts shit sometimes. However, in the midst of a company-wide merger, also, you've mentioned this a plethora of times. There's more times I'm gonna probably go back and get those and find those. You've mentioned Marvel vs. DC a plethora of times. Now, I understand that if it was a deal like this, you couldn't talk about it. Like, that's probably a deal like this couldn't be talked about just willy-nilly. You know, you can't just say, if you're working with Marvel and DC to make a Marvel vs. DC game, or just working with Marvel to make a Marvel game, you couldn't just talk about that. You couldn't just word of mouth. However, Ed Boon he knows his reputation. He can just say whatever, and people won't take him serious because he has done that in the past. Could this be the time to take him serious? Could this be the time to actually read into what he's saying, or how he's been saying it since 2019? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, Mortal Kombat 11 just ended. I don't know when the development cycles like kick back in for Netherrealm games. The merger happened. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the worldwide pandemic that happened. There are a lot of things at play that could just be like, their next game is Injustice 3 and they're just holding it back because they just haven't had, you know, like I said, the merger affected that too because it's still WB properties. It could be Mortal Kombat 12. However, nobody asked Ed, like, he was asked about talking to Marvel in 2019. And all these rumors start popping up, like not data mines, but like rumors about the roster and leaks about the roster and the story start popping up all over the place. There was a renowned movie leaker by the name of Daniel RPK. On his Patreon, he leaked that Netherrealm was working on a Marvel game back in like May of 2021. Then you have all these people popping up and corroborating with it on Reddit. However, you have some people, some insiders, like Jeff Grubb, who are saying like, no, they're not making that. No, with all this stuff going on in WB, they're making Mortal Kombat 12. That's it. You know, that's what they're making. But I don't think that's the case. And I'm coping. There is bias. I'm man enough to say this is me thinking wishfully, thinking having optimism, thinking unrealistically. I think they're working on Marvel something, or I believe that they're working on Marvel versus DC something. They're working on something now. At first, I wanted to say reserved. I wanted to keep my hopes down, and I probably still should do that. I still should keep my hopes down and be like, okay, they're working on MK12, or like I would like Injustice 3, but that I would like a Marvel game more. So maybe they're working on Injustice 3. I don't know. I'm not for sure. However, there's too many things happening in quick succession. Like, for example, Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. Street Fighter and Tekken came back. Like, they're back. It's been years since a Tekken game. It's been years since Street Fighter 5 came out. If there was any time for Netherrealm to come back with some heat, because Street Fighter 6 is like a whole different game than Street Fighter 5. Like, that's just a wholly different thing. Same thing with Tekken 8. They built that from the ground up using Unreal Engine 5. If Netherrealm wanted to come back and actually put their foot down with either a new IP or, not even a new IP that they work with. Marvel vs. Capcom's not around anymore. I don't think Marvel vs. Capcom is coming back anytime soon. Marvel has been trying to put all their characters in different places. I would not put it past them to try and get a fighting game in there, because we have a live service game with Avengers, even though that's a failure. A live service game. You have single player AAA games, Wolverine and Spider-Man, and even Guardians of the Galaxy. And then you also have the new Amy Hennig, the Captain America and Black Panther game. You also have an EA Black Panther game. You have a rumored Iron Man game from EA, I believe, as well. So if there was any time to put a Marvel fighting game together with Netherrealm in an era where we're on the new next generation of consoles, now would be the time. I believe at the Game Awards, we're going to see Netherrealm's next game, and it will be Marvel. I'm going to put my foot down. I won't say it's Marvel versus DC. I won't say that. I am not confident enough to say that. However, I am confident enough to say that Netherrealm's next game will be Marvel. Because there's too many things. I will make a list. Let's go down the list now. Let's do it now. Let me pull up a nice little picture. Hold on. First, we have Ed Boon talking about this for years. 2019. The question was asked to him, but he took it and ran. Like I said, he could just be trolling. This is very well a possibility. But like I said, I'm making a wager. It's a prediction. I gotta be a little courageous with what I'm about to say. So, 2019. We have Ed Boon talking about it with Game Informer. Then 2021, we have the leak from the actual leaker. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna add a point in there. Let's say at a point where Netherrealm actually said that they wanted to work on a new IP. There's an article that actually happened, and I will pull it up and link that, when I'm done editing this video. Netherrealm actually did say that they wanted to work on a new IP. That's real. So we got Ed Boon talking about Marvel versus DC, or Marvel. You got new IP that they want to work on. We have Daniel RPK actually leaking that they're working on a Netherrealm game. Now, I'm going to make a little list for counterpoints. Jeff Grubb, very reputable, informer. Super reputable, right? No, they're working on Mortal Kombat 12. Ed Boon's Twitter, I'm going to just put that on here. Ed Boon's Twitter, because there's dozens of posts of him talking about making a Marvel versus anything, just Marvel in general. Just little pot shots here and there he throws at the community. I'm gonna put this on here. I'm gonna put this at the bottom. This is gonna be all the leaks from Reddit, all the leaks from 4chan. Grain of salt. Grain of salt. If they were alone, I would disregard them entirely. However, a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm gonna put that on here just because. Like I said, grain of salt though. Don't take that too serious. We also have the new poll, but I'm gonna throw that in with Ed Boon's Twitter. We also have other fighting games coming back. Competition is at an all-time high. It is. Warner Brothers is like, they're gonna tell Ed, bro, where's our fighting game? Like, Multiverses came out. That's good, right? But that's not. A lot of fighting game players don't consider platform fighters real fighting games. I believe they are, but a lot of fighting game players don't. So if you want to get something for the hardcore fighting game audience, we need Netherrealm. Where's our fighting game at? Warner Brothers is gonna ask them that. They probably already asked them that. They're working on a game right now. There's no way that they're not working on a game right now. Yeah, there's no way that's not happening. So the game's already being made. We just don't know what it is. I'm putting that on the list too. Competition at an all-time high. Marvel expanding their characters, licenses through games, and Marvel giving their characters licenses out to studios. I'm adding that to the list too because that is very important. The boom in Marvel games in the last couple years has been crazy, like nuts. I would say since Spider-Man, maybe, or maybe after the end of like Marvel Heroes Omega. Marvel at the MCU, when the MCU hit its peak, Marvel was like, we need to get these games out there so people can play as these characters. Marvel, boom, like that. A deal between Marvel and Warner Brothers to make a game where Netherrealm makes a Marvel game is highly lucrative. A Netherrealm Marvel game alone is crazy. Like the visceral combat of a character like Wolverine, or a character like Daredevil, or a character like the Hulk in a Netherrealm game would be fantastic. Like they just get it down packed. And I know Marvel and Netherrealm both know that. You need something. Having a foothold in the fighting game community is a big thing. It's not the biggest community, however, it's a strong community that would be very lucrative to everybody involved if they had a foothold in it. Besides just multiverses, that's it. And I believe that these reasons here are the reasons that we are getting a Netherrealm Marvel game. I believe that this is the likeliest outcome. Now, I could be wrong. I could be super wrong. We just get Mortal Kombat 12 or Injustice 3. I don't want Mortal Kombat 12. I don't care. I'd play it when it gets on Game Pass, but I don't want it. I personally do not care. Mortal Kombat fans, I'm sorry. Mortal Kombat's a great franchise. It was my favorite fighting game franchise until like Injustice. But that's just because I like superheroes. That's just, I like superheroes. Mortal Kombat, though, I played it for years. I love Mortal Kombat. I like them more than Street Fighter. I like them more than Tekken. I like them more than SoCal. But, the time Mortal Kombat 11, I did not care about. But that's no qualms to the developers and everybody involved. However, it's just Injustice came around that had my attention. I want to play superheroes fighting, beating the shit out of each other. I would like to do that. So, Netherrealm's next game is Marvel. I will put that right here. I will stick a pin in it. I will put my foot down in the sand. I could be wrong. I could be. However, I'm confident that they talked and they're making something. They gotta be. And if they're not, I'm gonna be very disappointed. However, that's the thing about predictions. They don't always come true. That's why it's a prediction, not a fact. It's not real. It's not the truth. It's just a prediction. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you think Netherrealm is making something else, if you don't want them to make a Marvel game, if you hate Marvel because it's all over the place, I'm sick of seeing it, or if I just want MK. If whatever is on your mind, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. It's been Kiji. Now, see you guys later.